My name is Jewel Ahiable. I'm a Ghanaian and a marine electrical engineer. I joined Azal Shipping Company, a shipping company based in Dubai. I joined the ship on the 30th September 2009, and we were 24 crew on board the ship called MV Iceberg1. We were 4 Ghanaians. That is, after our rescue, we were 4 Ghanaians, and then we have 9 Yemenis, we have 1 Filipino, 2 Pakistanis, and then 6 Indian, and then 2 Sudanese on board. So in total, we were 24 crew on board the ship before our ship was hijacked. So it all happened on the 29th of March 2010, as we were en route from Yemen to Dubai. Then at early as around 7:30 a.m. I went to take my breakfast. Then as I was about taking, then I heard an emergency alarm. I was there with the captain and the chief officer. Then we all ran. What was it? Then it wasn't long. Then it followed with gunshots. So we realized there was something happening. What can we do? Then it only occurred to me that it might be pirates. So in fact, the gunshot kept coming, the bullet kept coming continuously. Then we have to hide ourselves, and some of us went into the galley, and others who were on engine room were there. It was around 7:45 a.m. when the pirates finally boarded the ship. In fact, we were caught unawares without having any form of defense. In fact, when the pirates came on board and we were all called to come to the bridge, I thought I was going to see some giant people called pirates, but I ended up seeing some thin humans who call themselves pirates just because of the power of the gun. And we were all called to the bridge that very day. We were all asked to sit down, and they spoke to us that we shouldn't fear, just that we need to take the ship to Somalia. We are no more going to Dubai again, and everybody should go back to his duty. I call it the darkest day of my life, because the manner in which the pirates came was impromptu, that we could not organize ourselves to fight the pirates. So I think that every ship is good for every ship to have ammunition on board, because it will help us fight pirates. If we were supposed to make good use of that, I don't think the pirates would have been able to come on board. And to me, I think every ship is supposed to have security men on board who are armed, aside the crew, whose responsibility is to just protect the ship and fight pirates. In that case, I think pirates will not have the upper hand of hijacking ships. On that very day, when we arrived in Somalia and dropped anchor, we were all asked to vacate our cabins, and all of us, the 24 crew, were put in one common room of a size of about 14 by 12. We were all kept in that room with 1 blanket each, which we will lie down, and we can only sit down and put our back against the wall. So we were all kept there, and the windows were shut, and the fan was blowing, but where is air? The room was so hot. We were not allowed to go out because there were soldiers. The pirates were carrying guns and were at the entrance of our room. At the window, you see the pirates standing there with the AK-47 24/7 on us. And even for us to go and urinate or to visit the washroom, we have to be escorted, and not more than 3 minutes. You must finish and come back within 3 minutes. It was really very difficult for us. There are times in which they get crazy that they will not even let us go out to go and urinate. Then we have to resort to our water bottles and gallons, which we urinate inside and keep among us. We were only sleeping are close to each other. I'm here, another person is here, another is here. So there was not enough space for us to even sleep. So we can only lie down, wake up a little bit, and we're not even allowed to be communicating to each other. We were kept as prisoners beyond prisoners. We really suffered. We really suffered. I will say that during our captivity, all the Somalians that came on board, 100% of them were so wicked and callous to us. I find it difficult to say or pinpoint about two that this man was very good to us, or this man have some kind of sympathy for us. But then they are heartless people. They are, I call them the devil incarnate. People who, I don't know if the same God who created you and I is the same God that created these pirates, because they don't have anything like compassion. They never think of human being of anything, but whatever came to their mind and hearts, they did unto us. Believe me, when they sit down and think that no, I should do this, they will do it. When they sit down, they feel like let's line up these people and just be firing at them. They did it. There was no compassion, nothing at all. So since I got back, the government has neglected us. Our company has neglected us. Not even 1 cent was given to us for our upkeep, and life has been very difficult. So I live with my junior brother here, who takes care of me. So all our belongings, clothing, telephone, laptop, even documents, camera were all taken away. But I cannot live naked, so I resulted in making my own clothing, in which I made this shirt. I used curtain with needle to sew this shirt for myself, which I used in my captivity. I made this shirt for myself, and I made slippers. I had no slippers. I have to make these slippers using carpet, and I glue pieces of carpet together and use this belt is the life jacket belt, which I use this life jacket belt to make these slippers for myself. And since my hair and my beard grew very long, I use wood and welding rod to make comb for myself, which I used to comb my hair and my beard, because life was very difficult. Yeah, in captivity, the torture we went through was unbearable, such that the pirates could just call us to the aft of the ship and line us up down all and said, today we should say our last prayers, because they are going to kill all of us. And we'll all be lined up, and the pirates with their ammunitions will be up, and the commander will just give an order. They will start shooting over our heads. There are times they will even take our screw for no offense. They will go and tie your leg with rope with your hand behind. They will put plastic around your nose to your neck to cover your head, to suffocate you. They will hang our officers with a rope with the leg up, with the head down, with the knife stabbing. And for the threat and the shooting around us was so much. Or they'll bring water, and that water is mixed with, contaminated with diesel or with petrol, to the extent that even on the 3rd of September 2011, when they cut our chief engineer's ears, they split it with the 2 ears with kitchen knife, and it was left hanging with all his blood, dress full of blood, for no offense. Believe me, we were somebody who was suffering. We were so much suffering. So if we have anything to give out to them so that we'll be released, we will do it. But these people will just do anything unto us, call us at any time, and do whatever they like unto us. After splitting his ears, that was not enough. They beat him with the gun, with whatever they laid their hands on, and even they kept him alone in a separate room for more than 1 year. from the 3rd September when the ship grounded after cutting his ears until 21st December 2012 before we saw Chief Engineer. There were a number of interpreters that came on board, and those interpreters were part of the pirates, because if they are not part of the pirates, they will not be allowed to come on board. And they serve as mediators between us and the pirates and the owner, so that they can negotiate to bring the ransom. So when this interpreter came on board, he said his idea is that since the ransom was not coming from the owner, or neither from our country or wherever they were expecting to come from, they should kill us and remove our heart and kidney and sell in the black market, which they will make even more money. The heart and kidney issue was another thing that broke our spirit down so much that there was so much fear in us, which led to the death of our 3rd officer. And you can see the wickedness of these people, that after the death, they put the body in the normal deep freezer in our house, and even after the body was thrown away, they again put meat into that freezer and cook for us to eat. You see that we don't have any right anymore, that nobody cares about us. Okay. So we were there, then all of a sudden, on the 10th of December 2012, as early as 5:30 a.m. when I got on my knees to pray, then there was gunshot, and that gunshot increased, and there were a lot of bullets that were being fired at us. We were running for cover. Then the pirates went to the Monkey Island, that is the highest point of the ship, and they were exchanging fire with those that were firing at the ship. In a space of about 20 minutes, then we heard a sound of a helicopter approaching, and the pirates ran down quickly with their guns and ordered us to go to one common room where we were first. So when we got there that day, the fire was very bad, so intense. The helicopter was shooting at us. There was another boat at this side of the ship shooting at us, another at this side, and there were soldiers on the coast. Because the ship grounded near the land, they were shooting just at the ship. It was seriously bad. Bullets were penetrating everywhere, and because the ship has been on the sea, it has rusted, the bullets were penetrating, and everything was just breaking down because they were throwing heavy artillery, heavy machine guns at us. We were thinking it was going to be NATO force or some people organized themselves to rescue us. In fact, as the battle was going on, the pirate asked us to speak to our embassy, especially the Ghanaian embassy, and tell them that this is what is happening. They asked us to speak to the Ghanaian embassy and tell them that these people have come, some people have come and they are fighting at us. They should let them go so that the pirates will also release us without taking the ransom. And my colleague, the second engineer, spoke with the Ghanaian embassy in Kenya, and they directed us to speak to the consulate in Ethiopia. And he told us that we shouldn't worry, we should just keep praying, everything will be well. The pressure was still on us. We kept communicating with them, but then there was no way out. So the battle continued from that 10th of December until 23rd December. It was so fierce. Day and night, they were firing at us. And at the night, you see the bullet red with fire flying over. And it was just penetrating and deflecting anywhere. In fact, we don't understand why we should go through such a situation before our rescue. We were not given water to drink. Just some little water we were having with us before the rescue started. That was what we were having. And for food, some little handful of food. Handful which if they give to a 2-year-old child would not even be satisfied. That was what we were given. Meanwhile, on this 22nd of December, the pirates told us that they have come to an agreement that they were going to let us go free, and the soldiers who were shooting at us, were also going to let them go free, because we were not having food, we were not having water, and they did not have the ammunition to fight these soldiers outside. So they agreed on that. So on the 23rd of December, that Sunday, which was my birthday, the soldiers came and the pirates packed all the ammunition, took our bags, our clothing, the rest of our clothing, whatever they wanted, they took it. Then at around 1 p.m., all of us, the crew on board, remaining on board, who were alive, were also taken away to shore. In fact, on getting to shore, we think we were going to see maybe the Americans, the UK army, or even the Ghana or the NATO force, that they were coming to rescue us. But we got there, and you'll be amazed to know that again it is the people of Somalia that came to our rescue. Puntland Maritime Police Force that came to rescue us. And from there, they gave us food and water to drink. They sympathized with us of what we went through. The president's son was the commander of the army, and he has been with us. They apologized for what their people have taken us through. And from there, they flew us with the helicopter to Ile. That is their military base. And they gave us clothes, they gave us food, water to bath, and a place to sleep. 3 days we were there. Then from there, we were in a very long convoy, as if a president. They took us to their next city, that is Garowe, where we went, and there were Somalians lined up by the roadside amidst drumming and dancing. They were cheering us up in that long convoy until we got to one of the top hotels where there was a press conference. Then the third day, they said the president of Puntland, that Somalia, want to meet us. So again, we drove in a very long convoy to Bosaso, where we went to meet the president, and all of us, the president shook hands with us and apologized that they were sorry for what happened unto us. And from there, we were taken to their military base in Bosaso, and there the Indians sent a special plane to come and take their people, the 5. There were 6, 1 died, so it was remaining with 5. They took them with 2 Pakistanis away. The Yemenis also sent a special plane to take their 8. 1 was dead, and they took them away, and it was left with the 1 Philippine, 4 Ghanaian, 2 Sudanese. No one was coming for us, and they called us and told us that even if our country will not come for us, they will find money to repatriate us back to our country. And by the grace of God, on the 30th of December, there came a UNODC plane, and they took all of us to Kenya, Nairobi, where we spent the night there at IOM guest house. From there, we came to our country, Ghana. We arrived at Kotoka around 12:14 on the 31st December, and we met our family. There were a lot of family members, well-wishers, church members most especially, who were there to cheer us up. I raised my hand that, "Mommy, this is Jewel," before they rushed and embraced us. There was no official from the government, not at all. There was no official from the government. So from there we went to the immigration, and then they questioned us a lot, after which we granted some little interview to the City FM, who was the only media station there, and after which our families took us in their cars. Even one of my colleagues was there was nobody there, so one of my colleagues have to use his car and take him to his house. So from there, our families put us in their cars, and they brought us home. So on the 31st December 2012, we landed in Ghana. Our families met us, and they took us home amidst jubilation. Those were the only people that have met us, that have given recognition to us, that has come from a difficult life on this earth.
I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. When I dey Ghana, Ofli, followed by Afko, also Mulatto, lastly Bruni Pete. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. When I did Romania, Chwal, followed by Tigan, also Negro, lastly my motor. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. When I dey Yankee, he mixed, followed by Yellow Bone, also light skin dead, lastly still a nigger. If I tell you what I go through for my life inside, Charlie, you no go love today in my skin. No go love today in my skin. If I tell you